Mm-mm. Hey y'all, what's up? Jamie, that's me here. Welcome back to the channel. Good morning. Good morning. We have a few things that we are going to get into today, so make sure that you're coming in and doing what you do. Um, yeah. So of course we have to talk about Kenya Moore and this whole situation about her allegedly being fired. We don't touch on Simon and Porsha. I know the people is tired, but we are going to touch on them as well. Also, need to get into Monique Samuels, who has addressed the situation surrounding Traitors. So we are going to touch on that. What's crazy is, and I don't even know if I have that, when Monique kind of made it seem as though it was something she was never supposed to do in the first place, and then kind of came back and confirmed that she was in conversations about it. We'll try to get that information up. Um, and we'll talk about that. But you guys know a lot of people may not get the notifications, okay? We just hop on live and just do our thing. So we definitely have to get into small talk before we get into anything else. So give me a second. So was this back in May? Oh, I wonder if I may have to see if they have it. Because if they have all of that, then we'll be able to get into some things. Okay. Is that it? Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where are we at? Okay. All right. I'm just pulling up something that I did not already have when it came to the Monique situation. Once I hopped on live was when I realized that she said more about the situation. So we'll try and pull up all of that. Okay. But first of all, I do want to talk real quick. Y'all know I came to y'all earlier this week and we talked about well, you know what? Maybe it could have been last week where we talked about apartments and how the rental prices and things are being investigated, or at least there was like a particular location, like the Cortland in Atlanta, that was being investigated on their rent prices. Well, it seems like it could be a bit more bigger than that when it comes to a particular software, a company that has had a strong involvement when it comes to what these landlords have been charging for the rental rates, girl, causing the spike. Okay, causing the increase in the market. And I'm so glad. I don't know who pressed the button for the FBI to come forward to want to do this investigation into them, but I am so here for it because they have been preying on apartment renters for a very long time, especially in the state of Georgia, in my opinion, especially in Atlanta and surrounding greater Atlanta areas. Okay. With this whole market rent thing, which is absolutely dumb as fuck to me. I don't understand how you can charge, let's say, $1,100 for an apartment, get it at this rate now. If not, when you come back next week, the apartment could be $1,300. Why, bitch? Are you doing any other upgrades within that time frame as to why the price would increase to 1,300 motherfucking dollars? Okay. So they've been preying on people, and now that it's, since the pandemic, I feel like it has gotten even more worse and even more out of control. And I feel like maybe the state of Georgia, and ain't no telling who or what else, has allowed y'all to feel like y'all are free to do what the hell you want to do when it comes to these prices and stuff. And now y'all over there being investigated. So what's interesting is people are saying that the rental rates are coming down. I bet they are. Of course, not only because, maybe the software company is doing some type of changes at this point, but landlords are probably bringing it down in hopes of not being caught up in this investigation. But it's probably going to happen anyway because it looks like they're dating things back to 2015 to 2017. So I do want us to hop over and get into this article. And y'all know I love getting into my articles, honey. Okay, for the new people over here on this channel, I love to get into my articles. They definitely give us more details than just whatever a headline may say. Okay, we have over 200 people here, so I do thank you guys for being here. Just make sure that you're coming in, supporting the channel by hitting that like button and letting other people know that we are live at this time, and also that you're enjoying the content as well. Okay, so let us do that. So they're saying FBI raids corporate landlord in major rent price fixing probe. What it means for you. The FBI's recent raid on Cortland management reveals a nationwide conspiracy to inflate rents, potentially impacting millions of renters, including those in Rhode Island. Walla walla bing bang. Okay, scale it back because it ain't just Rhode Island. Y'all gonna need to open it up to other folks on this motherfucking island. Hello? It's a whole lot. Don't say nationwide and then turn around and say including those in Rhode Island. What does that mean? Maybe you'll explain. When you say nationwide, we already was including Rhode Island. Okay. So we gonna see. And they're gonna probably break it down as we go further. They say discover how Real Pages software. Now, this Real Pages software is the software that all of these landlords was using, child, on some scheming action. Okay. And how I understood it was like they could have like 20 apartments available, right? But what Real Page was doing, from my understanding, like let's say they got 20 apartments available, but they'll only show 5 available on the website. Number one, I feel like that heightens the what is it? The immediate, like the anxiousness, the rush to go ahead and get something. Like, oh dang, they only got like 5 available or whatever, so I need to try and go ahead and rent something. With that 5 showing available, of course they're going to hike the prices up on that 5, and on those 5, the extra amount that they may charge you for rent on those 5 may be enough to cover possibly 2 other damn apartments. And then as they get y'all locked in, because y'all are operating out of possible fear, like, oh dang, this ain't gonna be available, let me hurry up and get it, and they get you in there for a few months, then they'll slowly start opening up another 3 to 5 or whatever, and then hike the prices up on that. And then if you got a neighbor apartment complex around the corner that's less than 5 miles away, they may look on there to gauge, because see, it's not too different than what they do with commercial real estate, what they do with other houses and stuff like that. They like to see what the market is looking like, right? So if they're looking in the market and they're saying like, oh snap, these people are, renting this 2-bedroom, similar square footage for X, Y, and Z amount of money, then we might want to consider doing the same. So then they raise their prices. And I don't really like that when it comes to apartments, in my personal. And I feel like this standard applies to some houses. You can't just raise your prices because of what you see others doing around you. There are adequate upgrades that need to be done on a property, right? So if there's a home next door and it may sell for $200,000 more, well, it could be because, hello, they made certain upgrades to possibly increase that amount. You might want to evaluate and make the same motherfucker. You may not have what Sarah and them got next door. And I just feel like I feel like before you can raise your rent prices a certain amount, I really just feel like you should, how when they go to restaurants and you got to have like a certain standard, or your rating is going to be low, you're going to get like a 70 or whatever. They should kind of do the same thing with apartments. Okay, you got to pass the mold test or whatever, water pressure test. There are certain things I feel like one should require when you having all of these people on your property like that, and you trying to increase the rent. Don't be trying to charge more for this home they got carpet when the other home in the next building ain't got no damn carpet and it's cheaper. And because they ain't got no carpet, their apartment looks bigger than this one that you over here charging too much for. So I just feel like, get your shit together. And I hope that this called the people to the carpet to get their stuff together. And that's just on period. Okay. So they're saying Real Pages software allegedly manipulates rental rates and what this could mean for your rents. Okay. In a dramatic turn of events that could have far reaching implications for renters nationwide, the FBI conducted an unannounced raid on Cortland Management's headquarters in Atlanta on Wednesday, May 22nd. They said this action is part of a criminal antitrust investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice into allegations that Cortland has been involved in a conspiracy to artificially inflate apartment rents. Now, before this investigation, from what I'm hearing, really went down, from what I'm understanding, there was like some people that were complaining about the rents in Atlanta. So I don't know who triggered it, Maybe it was those people that was complaining about the rental prices and different stuff when it comes to Cortland. And next thing you know, girl, they got an investigation. So we here for it, okay? They're saying this raid is more than just a legal drama. It's a significant development that could impact millions of renters, including those in Rhode Island who have been grappling with soaring rental prices. Now, girl, y'all been over there tearing the people in Rhode Island up. Okay, they said at the heart of this investigation in RealPage, a software and consulting firm that allegedly orchestrates price fixing among large corporate landlords. RealPage's system, which is owned by Toma Bravo, one of the largest private equity firms in the U.S., provides rental price recommendations to landlords. Those recommendations are based on detailed real time data shared by landlords, including pricing, inventory, and occupancy rates. Now, how they go about capturing this data, and I know because I used to work for a company similar to this, oftentimes they just call around. They call around and find out, hey, how much are you renting for this? They may call around and ask, they're gonna ask how much you're renting for a two-bedroom, two bath, or two-bedroom, one bath. What's the square footage of that? They're gonna ask about the occupancy rate. And sometimes what happens is the people that are giving you the information don't always give you the accurate information. Sometimes they just tell you whatever, and then you just put that into the system. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can find this information on their website, and even the websites don't be 100% up to date. You know what I'm saying? So girl, it's a mess. It's a mess. Let's keep going. They're saying RealPage's influence is extensive, affecting rents for 70% of multifamily apartment buildings and 16 million units across America. Now, they say the scheme allegedly works by encouraging landlords to adopt RealPage's pricing recommendations. Okay, so what they do is they recommend and they try to encourage them. A lot of people rely on that because if that's what's driving the money, of course they're going to rely on what RealPage is saying. Let's see what the market is looking like. Let's see what people in our area are charging. They probably evaluate this every quarter. It probably went from every year to every quarter to then every damn month. And girl, here in Georgia at one point, I believe it went to every damn week. Okay, let's see what the market is looking like. That's what they used to call like market rent. And they got away with it for so long, which is crazy to me. Okay, so they say that the scheme allegedly works by encouraging landlords to adopt RealPage's pricing recommendations, which they do 80 to 90% of the time. This coordinated effort among landlords to follow the software suggestions drives up rental prices by reducing the availability of units. As one of the RealPage's architects reportedly stated, the goal is to prevent landlords from undervaluing their property. That's what they say. How dare y'all sit up there and say undervaluing property, but don't think that the tenants paying you their hard-earned money is worth having, they're not valued enough and worth having a nicer unit. See, y'all be having these old ass apartments and y'all think that y'all could just slap some new paint on some of this stuff. They be having these old ass apartments and y'all feel like y'all don't have to do a whole lot, but y'all want to charge a whole lot. And then you have tacky ass, whack ass, unprofessional ass, okay, unskilled ass maintenance men. Hello, and then you don't even be having enough on the property to get the adequate things done, but you want to overcharge people every year. You want to increase their rent by $200 to $500 every year, but you don't want to make sure you get the necessary things taken care of in their property. Are you crazy? Like I can't. I'm so glad this is happening. They said thereby ensuring higher rents nationwide. Now, Cortland Management, they own about 85,000 rental units across the 13 states. All right. They said this is a significant player in this alleged conspiracy. So y'all contributed to the driving. Now, my question is, what investment does Cortland Management have in real property? I'm wondering, are y'all on the board in some capacity? Are y'all silent owners of some sort? What investment do you have in RealPage? Because y'all are the driving force when it comes to this shit. Okay. Out of all of the management companies, they chose to dig into you hoes. Okay. They said the impact of such practices is starkly evident in Atlanta, where 81% of multifamily rental unit prices are set using software. And rents have skyrocketed by 80% since 2016. Baby, I need everybody to come to the mother carpet. Governors, mayors, all you raggedy ass. So you understand what I'm saying? Because y'all have allowed this. All right. And then I also feel like y'all allowed it because a lot of these apartment complexes, number one, they change names so damn often. And I also feel like even though they change names, I feel like it does not always mean that they're like the company is really changing. I feel like the company may have gotten tied up legally or some shit, so they had to go and create another LLC and then change the name over of the apartment complex because we're moving everything over to this LLC type of thing. Some of these folks that own these LLCs or these apartment complexes don't live in the state of Georgia. Get it? Don't necessarily have to. But y'all be scammers. And I also be wondering how many of you politicians are connected to these LLCs that own these rental properties. Okay. That's probably why y'all let shit fly. Okay. So then they go on to say the adoption of real pages pricing recommendations by numerous landlords between 2015 and 2017, followed by real pages acquisition of its main rival lease rent option in 2017, has given it unparalleled control over rental pricing. Now, see, now y'all won't make me want to dig into y'all just a little bit real page. So I can find out who's connected to who, that's connected to who. Because I don't trust you hoes, okay? Now they say and then here's the other gag for me. While y'all over there doing this with apartments, y'all need to tiptoe in your J's over there to the housing market and find out what that's all about. While y'all calling these motherfuckers to the carpet when you're done, call out all them corporations that was around here buying up all these houses in the neighborhoods that was driving up prices, okay? Because that shit should be illegal too. You feel what I'm saying? Bring them out, bring them out, bring them out. Bring them out. Go get them. Okay, call out these other motherfuckers that was putting houses on the market for rent, but not getting back to people that was trying to find out more about the houses, directing them to a website so they can apply for the homes. Because during the pandemic, a lot of people was just looking at homes and just applying, right? Didn't even live in the state, just applying. And really, what y'all was doing was racking up on the application fees. Is what the fuck y'all was doing. It was a lot of that going on during the pandemic and after. Okay, a lot of people racking up on them fees, and a lot of these corporations buying up these homes, just letting these homes sit, making it appear as though these homes were available for rent on their websites when they really weren't. Okay, they really weren't, because y'all wasn't shaking and moving, getting back to nobody or doing anything. Now there were some people, because I remember seeing this lady on TikTok. And I cannot think of this company's name. I know their logo is like the color green, but I can't think of their doggone name. I think it's Invitation Homes. I really think it's Invitation Homes, where this lady on TikTok was talking about how she rented a home blindly. She saw the pictures and everything. She rented the home, I guess, for her and her kids, relocated from where they were. She saw that as an opportunity, moved to a state, and it has been horrible ever since she got there. She's been having all kind of issues with her property, and every time she reaches out to somebody, they wasn't getting back to her. Okay, and she's spending all this fucking money. So that's some crazy shit. Now I don't know why people wasn't taking heed. If it was tough for you to get in touch with these people, for you to rent these properties out, then you should have considered that. Consider the situation. Because if it's hard for you to even find out more about the property and get somebody on the phone, chances are when you get in there and you need something, it's gonna be even more harder for you. You feel what I'm saying? So great. It's just been a whole it's been a lot of mess. So when y'all get done with these apartments, we want you to tiptoe on your J's and get them taken care of too. All right. So let's go ahead and keep going. They're saying the DOJ's investigation isn't limited to Cortland and Real Page. Girl, this is my favorite sentence. This is my favorite sentence. Thank you. Thank you. It is not limited to. Okay, it has expanded to include dozens of property owners and managers across the country. The investigation has escalated from a civil matter to a criminal probe. Reflecting the seriousness of the allegations, the DOJ and Federal Trade Commission are key players in this crackdown on anti competitive behavior. Eat that, Your Honor. Okay, Real Pages and his clients are already facing multiple lawsuits, a class action lawsuit by renters, as well as lawsuits by attorneys general in Washington D.C., Arizona, and North Carolina, alleged that Real Page and his clients conspired to limit the supply of rental units and raise prices. When y'all put that class action lawsuit out, can y'all come email me or something? Send me a letter so I can be in that number when the Saints go marching in. Because I too have rented apartments around that time, a long periodically time ago. But I'm sure I was in that number, and I would like to get my coin. I would like to get my dividend or whatever. Please hit me up. Okay? Please hit me and give me. Okay, they're saying Real Page denies any wrongdoing, asserting that their software is designed to be legally compliant, according to whose word. However, a federal judge in Tennessee has allowed much of the class action case to proceed, indicating that the allegations of price fixing are substantial enough to warrant further examination. My. Okay, the investigation is particularly relevant to the renters in Rhode Island. It shouldn't be particularly to them. When you say it's nationwide is on your side. So we need y'all to be on everybody's side, okay? Not just Rhode Island, okay? Get it together, because y'all said nationwide. Get it together. According to a report by Rent, okay, they're saying that Providence experienced the highest year-over-year change in rent prices in the US, with a 16.18% increase from March 2023 to March 2024. The Metro's median rent price reached $2,618 making Providence the ninth most expensive metro in this study. Now, this sharp increase in rent is part of a broader trend that has seen rental prices in Providence climb from 1,845 in February 2019 to $2,743 in February 2024. Bitch, ain't nobody living that long, ho. Okay? What is wrong with y'all? Motherfuckers is not getting increases like that on their jobs. People have been getting laid off, whether they're announcing the layoffs on television or not, in the news or not. Okay, now there are certain websites that are, I think it was, is it 411.com? I think it was something 411.com. But anywho, they'll have like a list of all of the companies that have been doing like mass layoffs, even though the news may not report it. If you care enough, you can go and research that on your own. But girl, what? These people was getting laid off left and right. Increases were not coming, but y'all over there increasing motherfuckers rent. I can't. All right. So they're saying the Real Page investigation shines a light on how algorithmic price fixing can distort rental markets, leading to higher costs for renters by using sophisticated software to coordinate pricing. Decisions among landlords. Now, Real Page allegedly undermines the competitive market forces that would typically keep rents in check. This practice not only affects renters' wallets, but also exacerbates the broader issue of housing affordability, which is a critical concern for many Americans. Baby, and listen, I ain't got to get into more of this article for y'all to really know what the hell is going on, but they are saying for renters, this could be a crucial step towards more affordable housing and greater transparency in the rental market. Okay, so I don't know who triggered this investigation into Cortland management, then led to Real Page, but shout out to whoever you are. We appreciate it. And it may be all of the renters that's been complaining about the market. Okay, because y'all are exploiting people. And I'm so here for it. I am so here for it. Just make sure when y'all drop that class action, come see me. Come see me, because I'm sure I had contributed at least to one apartment complex. At least to just one. You know what I'm saying? So, child, listen, I cannot. Come on, Jocelyn Hernandez. I cannot. This is a mess. This is a mess. So we have to get, we have to get into real things over here on this channel. Sometimes I get exhausted with the gossip of it all. And we gonna chat about it. Okay. But y'all know I like to get into some real stuff over here. And this is some real shit that we had to definitely talk about. Okay. So there's that. Now we're about to go ahead and shift gears here. All right. Because y'all is messy. Cause that's just how y'all is. And I am a piece of it too. Okay. So let me see. Do I have the image here? Okay. We're gonna talk about this real briefly, all right? I think it's almost 600 people in the chat, but only 200 likes. Now y'all know we could get at least 300, so help us to start out just a little piece. Okay, just give me a little piece of a tap, girl. It won't take that much. But anywho, so I want to get into this man by the name of Sean Allen that I stumbled on the other day. And I wanted to get into a bit of his podcast. So like when this situation went down with Claudia, Al, Armand, with Armand roasting Al the way that he did, a lot of people were not fancy about it. They weren't happy. Some people thought it was hilarious, like myself. Al found it to not be funny. I believe he felt humiliated on air. A bit embarrassed and possibly felt attacked because he likely felt like Claudia Jordan was the person that you know triggered all of this, right? And I was in the beginning thinking that I don't think Claudia had anything to do with it, or that she didn't put Armand up to it or anything. And I'll be honest and say that since then my thoughts about the situation has changed. Okay. um and that was primarily from seeing her actions over the past few days. And you talk about the show being your baby, but and you say that Al is trying to take the show down, but I feel like you're contributing to that with all of the additional commentary that you've given around it. So I don't think anybody in this situation is 100% innocent. But I want to get into Sean Allen because when all of this first went down, he definitely got into it with Claudia, honey, over there on the Twitter. Now, Claudia did delete her messages that they had over there on the Twitter, but he was definitely on her head. Now, from my understanding, Sean Allen is the best friend to Al. He does have a podcast, but and I think he may be on Twitch as well, but I'm not sure what else he specifically does or is involved in. I was hoping to find out more, but I couldn't find his Twitch page, but it is what it is, okay? So, matter of fact, before we listen to the audio of what was said, let me check something real quick, y'all. Before we get into the audio, I'm trying to see which one. I think I want to get into the tweets, okay? Let us get into the tweets first because I feel like the tweets may have come first before the audio we'll check out. All right. So someone added Claudia and they said, my thing is about this whole situation is why did it have to take for Armand exposing what Al has been allegedly doing behind the scenes while you're on air if he's been creating a hostile environment behind the scenes for months? Why didn't you report him to your seniors? So then Claudia says that she did, and that's what makes it so frustrating. Like, I've been asking for help for months. So Sean jumps in, okay, and says, Claudia, do you think publicly engaging in negative commentary, going live with random bloggers, tweeting in the comments everywhere helps anything? Al hasn't said anything, and the safe live Armand did yesterday contradicted your comments below. Where is your PR? Okay, friends telling you to dial it down. No one is giving you advice. Like, what's going on? Okay. She had some things to say, and then I guess maybe deleted it. So he says you've been publicly erratic since Thursday and now don't have a job. You think any of this helps? You are providing collateral that further drives the narrative that you are the problem. Your quote unquote lawyer isn't advising you? Question mark. So, child, this right here, was a mess. Now, I do believe there was some more. Let me see. Was there more over here? Okay, yeah, he got into it with her. Somebody hopped in the comments and says, "I'm not trying to make excuses for folks because I do think some of the post roast, uh, or I guess even say pot roast or whatever, the roast comments. I was gonna say pot roast, okay? The roast comments and behavior makes things worse. But Claudia is clearly being blamed by a lot of people. So do you keep quiet and let folks continue to beat you down or defend yourself? So then Sean says none of that matters. She should not be online spiraling. Where is her lawyer? PR, this isn't a good look. I do agree with that because if this is your baby, you don't want to further bring issues surrounding your baby, in my opinion. I understand you not being okay with one of your counterparts, but I do feel like the roast was enough. You don't have to give additional details about it professionally, in my opinion. You could just wait until the show is completely over. Should they decide to end it, then you could probably expose and tell everything if you care to, and if you care to no longer have that relationship with that person. But how it's being done now, and the fact that he was saying something about a job earlier on makes me question whether or not they've been like they ain't coming back or something. You know what I'm saying? Where did he have that? Going live with random. I could have sworn he said that at another time. You've been erratic Thursday, and now don't have a job. That's what he said. You've been publicly erratic since Thursday, and now don't have a job. So I'm like, is it over? Is the show done? And if you're Al's best friend, I mean, you closer to the situation than anybody, I would think. So he says Al most definitely can be the one who burned the house down, but no one nowhere has any collateral or evidence. It's all speculation and feelings. What we do have is 5 days of Claudia being out of control on lives, calling bloggers on YouTube, on Twitter, being unprofessional. That's what we do have. Okay, so that's what was said, honey. That's what was said. So I'm not sure what else could have been said because there were some posts that was deleted. Somebody asked Armand, "What's the tea? You with Al? You and what's the tea with you and Al?" He says he let Claudia get in his ear and lie to him, and now Claudia on the live trying to clean it up. There was a delete that happened. I don't know if this person deleted it or what. He says or if Claudia deleted it. He says I intentionally am replying here on this account on this platform because if you block me here, I can reply there. You need to grow up, or you gotta grow up. There was another tweet and then it was deleted. So based on what he's saying here, when he says because you did, Claudia, that leads me to believe that it was Claudia and him going back and forth, and she started to delete some tweets. But I don't know why. What was the purpose of deleting the tweets if you was only gonna go and get on Instagram live, say something? And there was a moment where I do feel like Claudia played into people's face, and I'll tell y'all that, and I probably already mentioned it. And then you go from that to getting on live with the messy I forgot, messy sweet spot, and then you go from there to what was the next thing? Oh, you get on the Fox Soul in the comments, which was highly unprofessional in my opinion, going in and airing out one of your employees, like I mean not employees, but one of your coworkers. Like I can't. He says because you did, Claudia, be for real. You told Al on Tuesday on air you gave him this job. You had Lunel ask him about Star Jones and his divorce on Wednesday, and today you coached Armand to drag him under the guise of a roast. Wow, you sat there in glee. Something in the milk ain't clean, Claudia. So this is what he said, all right? So we are going to get into more of what he had to say.
You guys asked me about that. I didn't know you guys watch the show. TGIF. I don't work for Fox Soul, and I'm not speaking on the behalf of Al, so let me just get that out before anything. We do a great job about keeping the stuff here on Twitch. So, but let me just say this. I see you guys in the comments. Al publicly supported Armand to me, right? He's never spoke bad about Armand to me. He even had videos on his YouTube, advocating for Armand. So I didn't know that there was a beef, or I talked to Al actively, and Al's never said anything bad about Armand to me. You know, and I know he was going hard for Armon to get the job at Fox Soul, so I was kind of caught off guard. Right. Okay, I'm responding to exactly. Again, he's never spoke bad about Armon to me. And Platinum Barbie, what you're saying, Al's energy has been off for a few months. I can't tell you what episode. I can't tell you what markers, but yes, his energy has been off for a couple of months. I know if you guys go look at previous episodes over the past few months, you guys look in the comments, you guys will see in the comments of them saying Al's energy is off, Al energy is low. And Armon and Claudia both on air spoke to Al's energy.
For the people just getting in, the person speaking is Sean Allen, and this is best friend to Al Reynolds. He has a podcast, and he dropped just the snippet of some things that he talked about with the, Claudia, Al, and Armon beef. He speaks on not ever knowing that there was really a beef between Armon and Al. He feels like Claudia definitely put a bug and a battery in Armon's back to comfort Al the way that he did, and that he doesn't feel like she's innocent.
And his shift in his performance or his energy, they mentioned it on the show, periodically. So, Al's energy being off, then Armon doing this roast on yesterday, is, I guess it speaks to that, right? But I can't tell you what episodes to go look back at. But overwhelmingly in the comment section of these past few months, people are talking about Al's energy, And Armon getting on last night, dropping those back of the house internal issues under the guise of a roast confirms why Al energy has been off these past few months, right? So something is going on behind the scenes. That's why Al's energy is off. And we would have never known that if Armon never would have weaved that into the roast. And they took the show down, right? The replay didn't air, right? Mm-hmm. So, again, that further confirms that there are some internal issues. And we would have never known if Armon didn't bring the internal issues to the front, right? It was back of the house issues. Armon brought the back of the house issues to the front of the house. And Al sat through that shit. He ate that shit. He was professional. He didn't lash out online. He didn't lash out on the show. He didn't throw the shade on the show. He kept it professional, right? That's what you're supposed to do, I guess Armon don't believe it. I don't know Armon. And I'm not familiar with this brand. So the Lunel thing, right? I don't know if you guys remember this. Obviously, you guys watch the show. So, and it's on like YouTube somewhere, but Star Jones sent Fox Soul a cease and desist. Obviously, I don't have a copy of the cease and desist, but they can't talk about her on the show, right? She sent them a cease and desist like a year or two ago. Okay, cool, right? So I think what happened is Claudia got Lunel on the show on Tuesday. Because here's the thing, if you watch the show too, Claudia is in the comments. Claudia is a moderator in the comment section, right? So Claudia got the show up on one screen, or she probably got a split screen with Fox Soul, and the other screen is the comment section and her iMessage. So when Lunel was speaking, Claudia was sending messages to Lunel, and she told Lunel to ask that question about Star Jones. You see what I'm saying? I agree with you, Platinum Barbie. Claudia definitely put that bug out for Lunel and told Lunel to ask Al, since we can't ask that question because of the cease and desist. Lunel,
which is crazy to me, because even if she did do that, it still was done on the platform. So she didn't have to necessarily be an employee of the company. It was still done on their platform. I feel like the best thing they would have needed to do was to keep it 100% Star Jones out of the conversation as a whole. My other thing, which is interesting, he says that I don't know if he said if you pay attention or watch whatever, Claudia sent a text message to Lunel, and I'm like, how do you know that? Do you know that to be fact? You don't necessarily know that is exactly what happened, but I will say this. Thought that was interesting. He said that, and I don't put that past her because of this real small thing where I feel like she played with the people. So I played a live the other day, and it was Claudia being on her IG live, right? And she was speaking on how her and Al fell out. And then she said, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to go ahead and say it, whatever like that. But if you pay attention, she starts doing some tapping and stuff on her phone. And as she's talking about the show, talking about the issue with Al, the live just ends abruptly. People thought that I cut her off. I ain't cut her off. She ended her live abruptly. So I was like, either she put a countdown timer on it for the live to completely go off, or she pulled up the screen so that she could just press in, because her intentions wasn't never really to give y'all the real tea, but to give y'all enough for y'all to insinuate what y'all want about the situation. So I'm like, I wouldn't putting that past her, sending that text message to do that. And I'm just starting to look at it different. Like, I was like, I don't think she did this or that. Nah, not no more. I think that there was definitely heavy involvement in that, but ultimately, I still feel like Armand did what he wanted to do, and Armand even said that's what he wanted to do. So that's what he did. But yeah.
I was not an employee of Fox Soul. We're going to have her ask the question. And Lunel asked that question. You hear Claudia saying in the background, co-signing Lunel. You see what I'm saying? So that was on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, Claudia told Al she put him on. She gave him a job. She told him this on air, right? She told him this on air. Then on Thursday, yesterday, last night, Armand drops that bomb. You know what I mean? So, and then look at the fucking, you guys keep saying Al cut people off. Lunel was cutting people off, and she wasn't getting the smoke that Al was getting. And Al's been cutting people off since the beginning. When Gary the T was on the show, Al was cutting people off. When Funky was on the show, Al was cutting people off and talking over people. So him cutting people off and speaking over people is not unique to Armand joining the show or Armand being on the show.
Okay, so you better go to back for your
let's not get married to that. You could go back and look at episodes from years ago. Al has a habit. I don't know if that's a character thing for the show. Because a lot of people, if you guys don't know, in television, they character development, right? So Al's the facts guy. Al's the posh guy. Al could be the rude guy. That could be a part of the character, right? I don't know, but Al has been cutting people off since the beginning of time on the show. So that's not sensitive to Armand, and that's not sensitive to Armand being on the show. Again, I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but Armand shouldn't have brought internal back of the house issues to a public setting, a public platform. He shouldn't have done that. We're talking about it now on here, right? We're talking about it now on here because people are putting together that there are internal and back of the house issues. Armand confirms it on air. Here's another thing, too. Mm-hmm. Al kept it professional on the show, so I'm going to say that to you, Platinum Bar, because I see you in the comments. Here's another. Let me actually turn these comments off. Hold on. It's moving really fast. I need to be like Claudia and be in the comments. Funky, Claudia has everything to do with it. Claudia has everything to do with it. Period. Claudia has everything. Funky said when Funky left and him and Claudia was getting into it, he was saying Claudia is the problem. Claudia is a common denominator there. She made it an uncomfortable, hostile work environment. Funky said that on his lives when him and Claudia was going back and forth. I don't know if they're still up, but went viral. Everybody saw them. Him and Claudia was going back and forth on live. So Claudia put a bug in Armand's ear, or she created an environment for Armand to beef with Al. Whatever Al and Armand got going on, Claudia orchestrated it and had a lot to do with it. And I'm going to jump out the window and say if Claudia didn't have anything to do with it, Claudia has enough rank or power or experience to fix and facilitate a piece if Al and Armand is beef. I think it's like a one-sided beef because Al has never mentioned Armand to me outside of, him coming on the show. And again, I actively talked to Al. So I think it's kind of a one-sided beef that Claudia conjured up.
Well, I don't think it's just solely on Claudia conjuring up anything. I think it's also because of how Armand experienced it. And I think that he may have been feeling a certain way. And a lot of the fans put a lot in the comments about how Al was treating Armand, and I feel like those comments may have validated how Armand was already feeling. So I'm not gonna put all of that on Claudia, but I do think that she played a role in some stuff. I think all of them did. I don't think no one person is innocent in anything. Another thing I wanted to say is just because Al has not had a conversation with you to let you know his issues with Armand does not mean that he did not have any. Okay, in my personal, I also say that because it seems like as soon as that live was over, I don't know if you weren't available to talk. Maybe he talked to you. I don't know. But it seems like as soon as it was over, the person he called to confide in about the situation was Funky. Because Funky can directly relate to the environment because he was already there. So Funky may be the go-to person that he does speak to. I don't know if he speaks to Funky about Armand. But in that moment, we could tell that he was because he was pissed the fuck off. Okay? So that's that. Yeah, but I mean the way, from what I'm hearing from Sean, it sounds like Claudia must have Either she has pissed him off personally, or he sat on the sideline and just watched her, because he got smoke from Miss Ma'am for sure. And I do feel like, as a bestie, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't, it is coming off as though your friend is just 1000% innocent. He ain't doing that wrong. Everybody coming for him. Da 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 da. You don't get to make that determination, and I hate to say it, neither does he. That you did not make a person feel away. You know what I'm saying? That person makes that determination on how you made them feel. That may not have been your intention, right? But at the end of the day, you don't get to control how somebody else, feel about some things. And according to Claudia, he was talking shit about him when she thought that he was a good friend. So, there's that. Just like Armand may feel like his intentions were not to do whatever to Al, you don't get to make the determination on how Al responds or how he feels about that. You know what I'm saying? So it's given not too much on Claudia, but I see you at the same time. Like, I understand what you're trying to say at the same time, because I don't think she innocent, but then it's like, just spread it around. Okay, just spread it amongst everybody, okay? In my personal. So there's that, okay? I definitely wanted to get into that because, that's something that's been going on. It came across my desk and we touched on it. All right. I don't think we'll be talking about it too much more longer. Al has not said anything. I don't know if he is. According to his best friend, who we just listened to, he told Claudia, I mean, you ain't got no job. So I'm like, okay, is the show over? Armand did mention that they were supposed to go on vacation for a week. It got extended by another week because they were supposed to return in July. So then now they're on hiatus. So my question is the show going to return? And if it does, who are the players going to be? Maybe the conversation will pick back up at that point, or maybe it won't at all. We'll just have to wait and see. But that's all I got on that. So good luck. All right. Let's go ahead and get into something else. All right. Justin Timberlake. Child, this was messy as I don't know what, because I was shook. I think I woke up from a nap, hopped on Twitter, and the first thing I saw was Justin Timberlake has been arrested. Now, at first it said a DUI. Now it's saying a DWI. So I'm like, oh, well, what the hell happened? Because I cannot recall Justin Timberlake ever being in trouble. So I was like, what happened? And then the next thought that I had was, I guess that Janet Jackson karma is coming back to bite, I suppose. Okay, they're saying one day after Justin Timberlake was arraigned on charges of driving while intoxicated, tickets remain on sale for his tour. Okay, they're saying that he was apprehended by police in the Hamptons at 12:37 a.m. on a Tuesday. All right, they said Timberlake was pulled over in his 2025. Okay. BMW after failing to stop at a stop sign and maintain his lane of travel. Upon investigation, it was determined that Mr. Timberlake was operating his vehicle in an intoxicated position. Now, I don't believe he took a breathalyzer or anything, so we're going to see what the results are going to be from this particular case here. All right, they're saying the singer was held overnight following his arrest and was released without bail following his Tuesday morning arraignment. Okay, they're saying Timberlake didn't submit to an alcohol test. They have reached out. Nobody has responded as of yet, but he does have a court hearing on July 26th. I do not expect him to be in appearance unless the judge requests so. So we shall see at a later time. It looks like people are asking whether or not that tour is canceled. Why would his tour be canceled? Because he got a DW? I doubt that. I don't see that being canceled. They said they were still available for the 2 Chicago shows that he got coming up. So he's continuing to proceed accordingly. Now, I did see some salacious allegations on Twitter saying that Justin was found with more items in his vehicle. And I just thought that wasn't very nice, girl, because we couldn't find anything to validate or confirm what you're saying while you're trying to put different type of allegations out there on that man. Y'all gonna have to be careful. At this time, they said he was driving while intoxicated. We don't know what he was intoxicated with. I would want to believe that it was alcohol, but he refused to take a breathalyzer test, so we don't know what the hell going on. Okay, we just gonna have to wait to see. But again, I feel like that's a piece of Janet Jackson's karma coming back to bite. So good luck. Hopefully that works out for Justin. I don't really know if Justin to really be in no trouble like that. At least I can't recall. I feel like this may be his first major situation, but I think it's gonna blow over real quick, child. I do. I think it's just gonna. Ain't nobody gonna be thinking about it later. You know what I'm saying? Um. So yeah, that's what's going on with Mr. Timberlake of NSYNC. And while he going on tour, y'all need to bring in NSYNC's tour. I thought y'all was doing the tour with NSYNC. That's what I want to see. Okay, ain't nobody trying to go see Justin. Anyway, girl, let's move on. All right. All right, let's get into rapper Remy Ma, because this was a crazy story that dropped out of the air on yesterday. And what we're learning is that Remy Ma's son is stands by. Oh no, they're saying she stands by her son after he was arrested. And from what the headlines were reading is that he was arrested for a murder that took place in 2021. I believe it was him and another young man that has indeed been arrested. It seems like all of this went down in May, and people are just now learning about what has happened. Okay. So listen, I mean, it's a salacious headline that could be true. Now, we don't know for sure if he really did commit this, because they are going to have to prove this. But I would like to know, what evidence do y'all have enough to place him at the scene, him and the friend? Did somebody snitch on you, boo? Now, you may not have been the one to pull the item, but you know that you'll get in trouble for just being at the scene. Hello, and you will get charged with the same thing as somebody else. Now, they're saying that the son has been charged with unaliving a man in Queens in 2021. Jason Scott, who's 23, and a second suspect, who happens to be 22, were charged Tuesday for first-degree murder. Okay, for June 7, 2021, killing of a 47-year-old ex-con. All right. What else are they letting us know? They said that Remy Ma made a statement. She says, "We stand by Jason's innocence and pray that the NYPD will conduct a complete and thorough investigation to reveal the truth." All right. They're saying, "This is undoubtedly a difficult time for my family and me. While we sincerely appreciate the love and support we have received from all of you, we kindly ask for privacy as our legal team works to prove Jason's innocence." Okay. They said the victim was confronted by two men who opened fire in South Jamaica. So that's interesting. They said the guy that was that passed away was struck multiple times. He was hit in his head and his chest. He was rushed to the hospital, but they could not save his life. All right. They said he had served 3 terms in state prison, 2 for selling drugs and 1 for robbery. All right. It wasn't clear what sparked the situation that led to his death. So they're trying to figure those details out. Now, they are saying that in November of 2020, the victim was busted by the Attorney General's office in a 54 suspect drug sweep. Okay. They said the takedown involved 3 separate indictments. Okay. They said that one of the guys, the other guy that was arrested with her son, has been linked to 3 other clappings, and has since been in jail, catch this, since 2021. In August of that year, he was charged with unaliving a man in a Queens karaoke bar over a gold chain. Okay. Now, 2 months later, he was charged in unaliving another man outside of Queens in a hotel. You just a killer. You just out here just clapping. And this is not Remy's son, but this is one of the guys that he's affiliated with. Now, this young man has been locked up since 2021. So, listen, it's given he's the one that about snitched out on your son, and placed him at the scene with him, which is why they came and snatched your son up. Okay, now we don't know who pulled the trigger. You feel what I'm saying? We really don't know. It could have been your son. We don't know. But it seems like this boy may have told the police, like, listen, help me out on my sentences and I'll give you more of what you need. And this young man was with me. That's how it's coming off to me. But, innocent until proven guilty is what they say. Wow. He just been out here just unaliving folks. Child, they say he has been on Rikers Island since he was arrested last month on a weapons charge. So wait a minute. This looks like Remy's son has been locked up on Rikers. Cops arrested him in Queens for allegedly carrying a item. They said with an extended magazine now. a 40 caliber Glock with an extended magazine. He was also in possession of liquid, what's that, promethazine. And in 2018, in a 2018 Instagram post, she was bragging about her son. Of course, I'm sure. But were you aware of what he was out here doing? Try, this is messy stuff here. Prosecutor said the rapper clapped one of his best friends over missing cash, or not clapped, but popped him over missing cash, and then searched the bleeding woman's purse instead of calling 911. Why? The victim said Remy Ma climbed into her car, accused her of stealing about $3,000, and blasted her twice. Barnes Joseph, which is the girl Makita, says she had been a close friend of Remy Ma's for more than a decade. The rapper was released. Okay, so they're talking about the incident that happened when Remy popped her friend. Okay, that's what they're talking about. I'm thinking they're talking about the son. So it wasn't her son, but they're saying that Remy Ma was the one that shot her friend or whatever. But her son was the one that was caught with a Glock that had an extended magazine on it, and he was also caught with drugs, it appears, as well. So, girl, I feel like they're going into Remy's history so that they can say that this isn't too far-fetched to something that her son would do because he's been around it and he's witnessed it. So y'all in for a long fight, honey. And for a long fight, child, listen. Girl, that's terrible. That's terrible, child. You would think they would have more of his face plastered than they would have of Remy's face. But that is his mama, so it's an unfortunate situation. I hate that for her and for him to go and get himself caught up in some mess like that if you had anything to do with that man's death. Child. Anywho. Good luck. Let's keep going. This was crazy. This shouldn't even be legal. 21-year-old with a 15-year-old. And then these people have the audacity to label this young lady as his girlfriend. Girl, what? And then he unalived her before her graduation. They're saying a 21-year-old boyfriend of a Massachusetts teen has been arrested and charged with unaliving the 15-year-old just hours before she was set to graduate from middle school. Where is your parents? We need them to come to the front. Were you aware of the relationship? What the hell y'all got going on? And why is this okay? And may this beautiful young lady rest in peace. Or I don't want to say young lady, but little girl. So I'm sitting over here like, why is y'all over here labeling 21-year-old boyfriend and then 15-year-old girlfriend as the headline? Like, why is that the headline when I hop over here and they're telling us what is the age of consent in Massachusetts? They're saying the age of consent is the age a person must be to engage in whatever. And we don't know if there was actual contact like that, but we know it was given girlfriend, boyfriend. Okay. So go figure in your own head. Now, they said that age is 16 years old. I do not like that at all. Because why y'all got different laws? Is it going to be 18 or is it going to be 16? Y'all all got different laws, and I don't like that. We need to stand on one accord, please. Okay. They're saying it is a crime to engage in acts with anyone under 16, even if the defendant is also under 16. Okay. Then why is y'all labeling it like this in the headlines? Maybe that's because it's what it is. Now, when y'all arrest him, if he is still alive and he did not clap himself, because this is crazy work right here, girl. This is some crazy If he is still alive, he should also be charged with her unaliving. But y'all also need to put another charge on him when it comes to, you know what I'm talking about, girl. With this kid. Now, they're saying he was arrested on Monday on charges including unaliving, armed home invasion, and unlawful possession of a item, okay, in the death of this young lady. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, they're saying his name is Trevor and he's accused of unaliving her inside of her home on Friday, the same day she was supposed to graduate. Her loved ones became concerned when she did not turn up to the event and return home to search for her. First of all, where the fuck? Where was y'all at? Why is y'all over there at? I'm so confusion. Why are y'all at the graduation and waiting for her to show up to her event? Why ain't nobody at the house? Whose home was it? Was she living with the man or was it her own home with her parents of some sort? What is the background situation? This is crazy. Y'all became concerned that she didn't turn up to the event and returned home to search for her. Why y'all wasn't at home with her to begin with? Okay, they said her grandmother phoned 911 around 6:10 p.m. When was she found? So it was on the same day, but we don't know the time. She phoned about 6:10 p.m. telling them that the teen was certainly hurt and possibly unalived, okay? When authorities arrived on the scene, they found her bleeding and suffering from a wound on the first floor of the family home. Ain't that something? Earlier the same day, the police said they received a call shortly after midnight alerting them that a male and a female fighting outside the same residence. In addition to the pop, 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 the caller also reported hearing a female scream, "Get off me, get away from me, I don't want to be with you anymore." When they arrived on the scene, they could not find anyone. I feel like everybody failed this young lady. Because why would y'all think that that was even okay? They said that following this man's arrest, the district attorney confirmed he'd been in a relationship with the teen for some period of time, which she also called abuse. All right. They said that the young lady had confided in a number of people about the abuse, which allegedly included physical violence and threats. Family members had described seeing bruises on the girl's body. Y'all saw it and didn't do nothing. I just, girl, what the fuck is going on? During interviews with the law enforcement, friends and family described a severe abusive relationship between this defendant and the young lady. The young lady informed others, and I keep saying young lady, but this kid informed others that Beatty had been hitting her and giving her bruises and a bloody lip. And you think that motherfucker would have been able to come to my house? How did he even get past y'all with his age is the thing for me. How did that happen? As much as I feel like, of course, the blood is on his hands, but I feel like some of it is on the parents too, because y'all wrong as fuck. Y'all wrong as hell. Wrong as hell for allowing this to be okay. That's a problem. And you know what it's also giving? And I could be wrong. Now, the grandmama could be raising the girl because her mama, I don't know that situation, but I'm just giving y'all what it's giving to me, a possibility. In addition to that, with this older grown, 21-year-old or whatever, Bout was giving them money to take care of shit in the house. Helping them pay bills and stuff. Of course, they'll look past some of the bullshit that's going on. But I don't give a damn what kind of recession we in. Hello? You won't be able to use no shit like that over my head to get to mine. I don't give a fuck about it. Come around here again, you gonna get popped. I hate this. And y'all, and then that's the other thing. It's so many different levels to this or layers to this. You got this old ass man dating this child. So date. That ain't no dating. That's not dating. That's not dating. They just said she can't give consent until 16. That's not what that is, okay? He's grooming or whatever he's doing with this kid. Then after that, what's the other situation? Y'all are witnessing bruises on the girl body. In addition to that, y'all are witnessing arguments take place. With all of so many things happening so recent in days, y'all have the audacity to let her be at home by herself while y'all hoes over there at the graduation waiting on her. I am so sorry. I am so sorry that they failed this baby. May she rest in peace. I am so sorry, but I cannot help but to be disappointed in her family. And I slick want them to be locked up for a little bit too, but you know, girl. But that's a problem. And I feel like this did not have to happen to her at all. So I feel like y'all gonna have to carry that weight with y'all for the rest of y'all lives. Because if he was over there paying some bills for y'all to overlook whatever the dynamics of the relationship was with them, it's giving letting her get pimped out. Just a little piece to me. And then he's such a fucking coward. Like, you were like, what's going on in your brain as a 21-year-old that, one, you have to date a 15-year-old? Two, what's going on in your brain that you were that jealous that this kid is graduating from middle school, going to high school, and you feel the need to clap out? And then you over there putting your hands on her. Like you her daddy or some shit. Like, clearly he's not in her life. Or wasn't. As she has, now passed away. If y'all don't add more charges to this and keep him back there for the rest of his life, please. Because this is some craziness. Sad, y'all. I had to bring this story to y'all because I just felt like this right here was crazy. Okay? This was absolutely crazy. Okay? So, y'all continue the conversation. Let me know your thoughts down below. All right? Let us go ahead and move on. Let's see where we at with this. I thought this was pretty interesting. Okay? I thought this was pretty interesting. It looks like comedian Miss Pat was fired from the show she had with Big Tigger. But not only was she fired, it appears that Real Housewives of Atlanta cast member Miss Shamia Morton was also fired. So I do want to get into what she has to say real quick. Honey. And I think she called him a hater.
I was waking up to do radio, but what happened?
They quired me.
They quired you?
Fired me before I could quit.
Damn.
Oh, damn. I knew that was coming from this one here. Yeah, I told them, I said, I'm going to leave in August. And before August could get there, I was blown away. I never thought I was going to get fired from that job.
So you had no idea?
No, me and Shamia didn't have no idea. No idea at all. I just knew they was going to renew her contract and I was going to go on by my business because I was never there. And I could never be there. But that's what happened when you work with a hater. And I'm just going to go and say it. I don't even care because they can't nobody whoop my ass. You know who the hater is, Tigger. Tigger's the biggest damn hater. I mean, you had a good show and you messed it up because of your ego. And I think it's because I would come in there and say, I know it because I didn't care. I said, look, I don't need a job. And it was, when you work with somebody who, it's just jealousy. To me, it was jealousy. Really, I'm just gonna go and put it out there. And if you call me, we can fight in the street. It was jealousy. But I was really, when they walked me in now and they said, we're not renewing your contract, because I said I was leaving in August, I was so shocked. I said, y'all gonna fire me?
Wow.
Do you know these people get up to listen to me? Don't nobody listen to this crap.
Miss Pat got a hit podcast, hit TV show.
Hit TV show. Yeah. And you gonna fire the person who had the most going on, which was me and Shamil? You gonna leave the DJ?
I can't.
You want the DJ just to spin workers?
Did Tigger at least reach out to you and say thank you for it?
I blocked that nigga.
Hey.
Oh.
He sure did. I said, I'm not Shamil. You don't play with me. I'm 52 years old. I don't have time to play these games with you. You're low down, you're dirty, and anybody who go over there and work for him, and the show was doing well. When I got there, they were number 15. When I left, we were 2 and 3. You gonna fire us? Nigga, you should have got fired. But keep your little show, because I ain't never needed it anyway. My team was like, why are you going over there and work for that old dead-ass station? I said, I want to work for V103. I'm from Atlanta. I want to work for V103. Don't make me wake up and take unnecessary baths.
Girl, now she ain't have to cut up in this interview the way that she did. As I'm listening to her talk about this and being released from this job, why is everybody in damn shambles? Okay? not everybody, but as she's sitting on the Breakfast Club and she's having this conversation of not being on the show, being fired, all I can think about is the discourse that happened on, of course, Fox Soul. But as she's sitting on Breakfast Club, the discourse that happened with them and Angela Yee not really feeling them like that. And you could tell when it came down to her getting closer to her leaving, like she wasn't featuring Charlamagne them for real. You know what I'm saying? How they constantly cut her off and different stuff like that. She wasn't really rocking with them. So I feel like it started off with them. Ain't no telling who else in the midst of that. Then you got Fox Soul going crazy. And then now she done went over here and she airing out Big Tigger being a hater. And she saying she didn't even know she was going to get fired. Now, let's be honest. I'll say this. I feel like a lot of people don't know when they getting fired. You know, I feel like most of the time they not going to give you a heads up that you finna get fired. You know what I'm saying? They just gonna fire you. And then in a small percentage, or some instances, I think that you could see the writings on the wall for some, but she wasn't expecting that. So I wonder what's the real reason. Like, is he planning on getting different co-hosts that's going to work for a cheaper amount than what she and Shamia would, because they already got names for themselves? So that's going to come with a bit more money. Or is he going to try to go get some influencers or somebody with a little piece of name that he ain't got to pay that much for? Or did the radio station have to make an executive decision to cut people because they're not getting the money in like that, like they used to or something? Could that be a factor? I feel like it could be so many other things, but the way she just ate him up, I don't know. She done sat up there and called the man jealous and blocked his ass. So, girl, so maybe he has something to do with it. Maybe he makes the call ultimately, but you done fired not one but both. This is crazy. The way that, girl, this is, girl, I don't never want to be a part of those, girl. And then the people just being a whole lot of messy about it too. I wonder if Tigger gonna say something. I don't think Shamia gonna say nothing. Okay, I don't see Shamia being that type of person really trying to air anybody out like that. I think Shamia just like to keep it cool. It is what it is. And I doubt that she's like, well, I can't say she's not tripping about it. I'm sure she enjoyed that job. So I don't know how she's feeling about it. But child, she probably too focused on Real Housewives of Atlanta being in damn shambles for her to give a damn. I guess about that. Maybe she making sure she do her part on Atlanta, so she never got to worry about this show over here. But I had to bring this to y'all because it's crazy. Okay, she done called Tigger out, had her getting up taking unnecessary baths, she say, when she could have just been in the bed a little longer. But if you was gonna bathe that day anyway, I'm confused on why it would be unnecessary. But good luck. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep going. Let's see. What else I want to get into? Oh, I think this is the Monique situation. Okay. So y'all know Monique was supposed to be a part of Traitors. I do remember when that first fight went down. Okay. It was some details coming out saying, hey, Monique was supposed to be on Traitors. I had already heard that she was going to be on there before the news had came out. I was just waiting on them to say that she was going to do it, right? Well, when it came out, Monique came back and said, that's not necessarily true. But she was kind of wording the comment as though people were just making stuff up. And I'm like, that's not necessary. That's not, like, ain't nobody really making that up. You know, so then we get into more details. They said Candiace, Dillard, and Monique Samuels were both allegedly supposed to join Traitors. They said, but Candiace allegedly pulled out due to pregnancy risk, forcing producers to rescind Monique's offer. And I think this is where Monique probably got more hung up on, where it was like, y'all trying to make it seem like y'all took my offer. Like, no, I declined that motherfucker. Don't play that. And then Robyn Dixon was in talks of joining. And I do believe that Robyn Dixon is on the new season. Okay, so a rep for Monique came forward at that time and says that she passed on the opportunity, wanted to be very clear they didn't take nothing from her on behalf of somebody else. She declined, okay, because they couldn't afford her. Now we're also learning when she speaks more on it that it's not just they couldn't afford her, but they was trying to be messy too. Okay, so let's get into what Monique had to say about this particular situation.
So here's what happened with the Traitors. I considered doing the show. I was really excited about it. Number one, let me back up and just say that I didn't realize that the Traitors was like NBC Universal. I don't watch TV. So when the opportunity came about, my manager reached out and was like, hey, would you want to do the Traitors? And I'm like, what is it? Oh, it's like a competition challenge kind of show. And, you know, like Fear Factor meets Mind Games and this, that, and that. I was like, oh, that sounds fun. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm interested. Put my name in it. So then I started watching all the old episodes. Then I realized, like, oh, this is NBC Universal. Oh, they have Housewives on here. Oh, okay, this is interesting. But then still I was down. So I heard that they wanted me to be on the show. I said, okay, let's do it. We started talking numbers. I was like, you know, for me to go away for that period of time, I need to make sure the money's good. And I also need to make sure, because I have children, I have 3 kids, and I have a home, and I have a dog, and I have a parrot. So I'm like, I got to make sure that it makes sense for me to leave my job for a whole month or however long. It needs to make sense, right? So that was one concern. Then, you know how it is with reality TV stuff. It is always last minute. You know, they act like you don't have a life outside of whatever it is they're trying to do. And I just was like, you know what? They're taking too long. If they don't come back with something really soon and respond to whatever, you know, raising their offer and give me some better numbers, then I'm not going to be able to do it. And that's pretty much what happened. But then on the back end, I heard about some shady stuff that was going on. So apparently they were trying to put me and Candiace from RHOP on the Traitors at the same time. I didn't know that she was pregnant. I didn't know that she was supposed to be on the show. And the only reason that I found out is because my manager is well connected. And we started finding out all of this stuff. And I'm like, first of all, that's low down to try to put a pregnant woman in that position. That's jacked up, number one. Second of all, I don't even know why a person that's pregnant would even do that show or want to do that show, because it's a lot of physical challenges and stuff in there. So I thought that was weird. But regardless, I'm like, why would you try to take something from a totally different show and try to make it something that could potentially be very nasty? When I watched the first and second season of the Traitors, and I watched the other Traitors, like Traitors UK, all of that, it wasn't about their personal lives. It was more about just the show in itself. And if you get picked as a traitor and if you're faithful and all of that. And I thought that was so much fun. I actually was really excited about the opportunity and being able to do the show. But once I started finding out all of the shady shenanigans that were also going on behind the scenes, and they couldn't afford me. So I was just like, I'm not doing this. And then once I found out about all the shady stuff that was going on, I was like, you know what? Let them know that I declined not only this season, but every other season. Like, I'm not doing it at all now, because now you turned me off. And that is what you call boundaries. And that's what I now have. And I love that. I love that I don't have to do stuff. You know, I don't feel obligated to do anything that I'm not excited about. So that took the excitement away, because it was almost like y'all were trying to be shady and set things up in a way that was just like, because when you get there, you don't know who else is going to be there until you land. So I thought that was really like low down, especially because everybody knows that situation is very sensitive. And
I just have to interrupt. I'm sorry. I have to interrupt. Because I'm going to forget everything I need to say by the time Monique finish. First of all, I think they should have to pay more money off the simple fact that they would even want her on the show with Candiace, knowing the dynamics of what happened between them in the past and the damn audience. Okay, I feel like they should get paid off that off rip. I don't blame her for wanting to negotiate more. You would have to take time away from your job. That's probably not going to pay you, as they're going to have to probably pay the other people that's filling in for your position during that time that you're away, on top of having them kids. Now, granted, I do feel like Chris would have accommodated her accordingly, but I see nothing wrong with her wanting to get more money out of them, but more so because you want her to deal with the stress of that. Now, granted, they could have went on this show and it actually could have been a real good bonding moment for them, possibly to overcome, because you're having these different challenges. You might be able to push past that, okay? Or it could have made the situation worse, because the game is about trusting and not trusting, and somebody being a traitor, somebody being the faithful. It's a lot of different things that, you know, go into that. But Candiace is pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I believe they may have approached Candiace with it, and I don't think Candiace ever took it because she was pregnant, you know? So the fact that they were trying to negotiate that, I feel like the conversation came up, but I don't know if Peacock fully knew that Candiace was pregnant. I think she could have been keeping it tight vest, but I don't think she gave them a final answer on whether she was going to do it or not. right? And that could be because she was waiting to make the announcement herself, and she probably didn't want a lot to slip through the cracks or whatnot. So I don't know, but ultimately I do think that that's messy as fuck. Messy as hell. And I think those ladies, not just Monique but Candiace too, they both should get paid a good amount of money to go on there with the host. That could potentially result in them getting into another heated situation again. Like, hell no, y'all not gonna be paying somebody crumbs, but y'all making all this money off of these folks' image and brand and stuff being a part of yours. Like, no. So I can't disagree with Mo on that. Like, give me my fucking coin. You trying to play with me? The other thing I wanted to say is I find it very interesting. Not gonna hold y'all. Monique said that she's at a place where she can turn things down and she's not all excited. Like, I don't have to do stuff. And I said that is so funny that now you're not with Chris, you ain't got to do shit, right? But when you was married to him, you was ready to do Real Housewives of Potomac again and again. You was ready to do Love and Marriage DC, and then now that you divorced from him, you ain't got to do shit. Let me tell y'all something. Monique getting a good check to sit the hell at home if she want to. It's what it seems like to me. So, I mean, maybe she getting paid more to not be with him than it was. Maybe it was cheaper for him to keep her. All right. But it's probably looking more better for her to not have kept him. Either way, good luck.
I highly doubt that if it was two white women that from another like housewife show, I highly doubt that they would put them in that position. So you ain't gonna be doing us black queens like that. Like, I don't care. Whatever they think might have happened behind the scenes or in front of the scenes, when it came to that situation, that's what I'm not about to do. Not at this day and age and this time in my life. So I was like, nope, ain't going down. Not gonna do it. You're not about to have black women on TV looking crazy. Not on my watch ever again. So that's my position on that. And that's actually what went down. So it was like a double-edged sword. Number one, they couldn't afford me. And number two, they were trying some shady stuff, which made me say, I'm not ever doing that show. So, and it would have been really cool because I do like stuff like that. Like, I love like challenges and like mind games and all of that, trying to figure things out. And, you know, so I thought that would have been like a fun opportunity, and I was down for it until they came with the mess. So I don't deal with the mess. So if they still ain't figured it out, they're going to find out now.
And there's that, okay? So I don't really fault Mo on that. Like, girl, I probably wouldn't do this shit either. Y'all trying to play on my top. I'm tired at this point, okay? I'm tired, okay? So there's that. She probably was doing them shows as a great escape from Chris anyway. And then now she ain't really got to escape that no more. So it is what it is. All right. Sheree Banks, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm so sorry that I'm just now seeing it. When we were talking about Funky and the Al Reynolds and all of that, she says Funky said he when he did her show, she was very rude to everyone. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, you guys. So was there anything else on Monique? I don't think so. Let's hop over. Let's get into Simon and Porsha, because he put this post up because he keep talking about a damn Rolls Royce because he know Porsha ain't got one, because the one Porsha was out there promoting was the one that was in his name. He talks about how he's ready to unify all three of them. So then Porsha comes to the front, okay? She comes to the front and she says unification of three. Meanwhile, Rolls Royce Dawn was sold along with the Ferrari to buy the one Spectre. She says hashtag go away from me with this. Hashtag happy Instaflex. Hashtag fine granny with pimples. Okay. She says sassy 10-minute post. Well, here he go trying to eat her up, child, because he been letting her have it. He says, here we go again with Underground Railroad concerning herself with an experienced car enthusiast of 14 years. First of all, sir, I'm going to be honest. You didn't care nothing about her lack of knowledge about the Underground Railroad when you got with her. Okay? You was trying to get up under her railroad. Hello? That's what you was trying to do. So you didn't care about it now. Don't be trying to use that against her at this point, okay? He says, make a strategic business decision to conduct multi-million-dollar car trades. Stay in the Mercedes-Benz I bought you in your name. Oh, wow. Well, at least she got a Mercedes up out you. Okay? At least she got a Mercedes up out of you. I don't see nothing wrong with that, okay? At one point, he also made a post. I don't know if I have it up here, where he was pretty much telling her, you need to film in your shit. Go film in your shit. instead of trying to sit over here and filming my stuff. Go figure it out on your own, okay? I don't disagree with that. Porsha, you got a house. All right, you got a nice vehicle. Okay, it may not give whole luxury, but it does give a piece of luxury. And I think you should just, use the pieces that you do have. Okay, don't let him stop your money, because it seems like he is, the way that he putting these cease and desist out everywhere. And Bravo damn near can't film a god thing when it comes to you. So what is y'all finna show us, Bravo? If Kenya is suspended indefinitely until y'all say she can or can't come back, and if Porsha keep getting limited and y'all keep getting a cease and desist every which way, what are we going to see? If you ask me, I say scrap them hoes. Okay? In my personal, get rid of Kenya if you want to. She already suspended. Get rid of Porsha. If you're going to get rid of Kenya, get rid of Porsha. I say keep Drew, keep Shamia, keep Kelly, keep the Oakley lady, and then go find some other damn fill-ins, so we could feel like we kind of getting a whole new show. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all going through a whole lot just to bring back a piece of old heads. And I may have enjoyed Kenya, don't get me wrong. I enjoy her getting them girls together, okay, and have them tied the hell up and tussled or whatever, okay? I haven't enjoyed that. But Porsha's storyline, my love, is playing out on social media. We talking about it every day. Her show on social media, Her Family That Matters, is happening on social media and has been going on since February. What would you like to show us that we have not seen on television? Now, I'm not trying to say nobody needs to lose their coins. I'm just letting you know the direction y'all need to take. Keep Drew, okay? Keep Kelly. Who else I said? Shamia. Keep the Oakley lady. And then go find you some other. Send Brittany on her way. We appreciate you. Thank you for your services. Okay? Pick your shoe up now. Thank you so much. Okay? You look cute, girl. We'll see you the next time around. Second time around. And she may not get it. And that's okay. Send her on. Okay? You wanted to get into the kitchen. The kitchen got hot as hell. Okay? You wanted the cook to be suspended. And then you also wanted to leave the damn kitchen. So what's going on, girl? We can't even cook no more. It's just hot in here. Okay, just shut it down. Shut it down and let's get a new staff. Shut it down. All right? It's my personal. That's just what I think, girl. Girl, you know it's bad when Mark Daly is over here trying to defend her. Okay, a little bit. She must have, let me tell you, my girl down and out. Okay, my girl is down and out that she had to go and cry to Mark about what was going on. So much so that Mark had to let y'all know that y'all need to support these black-owned businesses. Okay? Now, I don't know what's going on with their divorce, and I don't know if Mark is going to get a piece of her check, which is why he's saying make sure y'all support, because I need my coin too. I don't know if that's genuine support or what, but this is him supporting her, and we can appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? This is the mother of your child, so we can definitely appreciate that, all right? Now, there is a woman by the name of Tiffany Rose, okay, who has come out and had some things to say about Kenya. They said that she is Drew's friend, and she was originally, and this is according to Mad Beefs over on Twitter. Now, Mad Beefs is the one that also, I would say exclusively, because that's the first time I heard the audio was directly from Mad Beefs. So I don't know what end they got, but they had enough of an end to get the audio for us to actually hear what the hell was going on. Hello? So they say Tiffany Rose is a friend of Drew and was originally supposed to be a newbie on Real Housewives of Atlanta, okay? She confirms what Mad Beef said about Kenya Moore reading her down, and Tiffany saying, forget this show. She is saying Kenya is fired. This is what she said. I don't know what's true now. She added Kenya and said, God don't like ugly, honey. My. All right. Somebody said, what's your beef with Kenya? Tell me tomorrow. She says, OMG, can't wait to tell you. She made sure to make a huge deal about me coming on the Housewives of Atlanta show. I was going to be one of the newest housewives. They wanted me to pit my business against hers. Y'all always trying to pit people against people. Like the two can't exist. And she made it a huge deal. Looked up my house information in Atlanta and started to stalk me. Now, ma'am, can you confirm that this is true? Can you confirm that this is actually what she did? All right. Somebody responded and said her dress looks like assless chaps. Whoa, not y'all hating in the chat. It's giving Bia. Yeah, your tats. Yeah, me and my friends talk about that. We don't like that. We don't like that. Back to back, me and Dreezy laughed at that. Like, that is what is, it's giving a little bit of that. Okay? Yeah, we talk about it in our group chat. We don't like you. It's actually showing y'all to be lame, ma'am. She says to try and find dirt on me, it was crazy. And now look, she's fired. And we have a new show coming. What do you mean we have a new show coming? Do you mean you're going to be on a completely new show? Or are you saying that they finna reroute these up? Is what I'm wondering, okay? Oh, this was the one where Simon told Porsha, filming your own assets, not mine, because I worked for mine. Are you happy now? Now go read again for context. A mess. Let's keep going. All right. So they go on with more, saying that Tiffany Rose is saying Kenya just looked up her house information. I don't see how that's stalking like she claimed earlier. All housewives looking to new potential cast members to see who they are filming with. Kenya also did this because Tiffany lives in Cali. I will be honest and say it wasn't necessary to look her up. In my personal, I mean, unless you're looking up something to make sure that you're gonna be prepared to read the hell out of her for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that was I'm being honest now. I don't think that was really necessary to look up her address and stuff like that, because had Miss Girl looked up Kenya would have ate her the hell up. So I'm just saying. So Tiffany says the fact that she looked up my house information and I only lived 8 minutes from her was crazy. She was so concerned about my personal business, she went too far with Brittany. Now look, fired. And I have a new show coming that is a new franchise. Can't wait to share more info. And let me tell you something, Tiffany Rose, is that going to be on the OWN network? Now, let me tell you something, ma'am. I'm not trying to be shady, but I would love to see where it's going to be. Okay? Now, if you finna slide over there to OWN and it ain't no read, but it's a little bit of catch, that's not necessarily tea. Okay? That's not necessarily a one-up. But I do hope that it's going to be on a pretty good girl, you know what I'm saying. I hope that it's probably gonna be on Bravo of some sort, ma'am. Okay? I hope that it's good and it's juicy. Okay. Somebody says house information is public records. And why would anyone need to look up someone that lives 8 minutes away, sis? You got tricked by production to beef with Kenya and she put an end to it. Listen. I'm with you on that one. We see each other. Now, I could get with that one. Now, somebody says, get them. I'm so proud of you. You deserve this. You've worked your ass off or whatever. Okay, so that is somebody giving support. But the other person that was sitting up there saying that, listen, it seemed like production was putting a bug in your ear. And they do it, honey. They do it. So, child, that's a little messy. But let's keep going, okay, and wrap this up with with the ladies over here. All right. So Mad Beef says, I was given all the tea just now. Allegedly, Brittany is quitting the show. That would be interesting to see if that is true. Kenya is not confirmed to be fired, but she's not filming because of the suspension investigation. I feel like with a photo, how much of a suspension, how much of an investigation do you need, though? Either the shit was posted or it wasn't. So at this point, I'm going to be real honest and say I feel like y'all might be trying to investigate how you could save your ass if you were to bring her back of some sort is what it's giving. Okay? And if Brittany is quitting, I would not be surprised if that is true. I don't know if it is. I wouldn't be surprised if she could be using that as leverage to prevent Kenya from coming back. Well, if she comes back, then I'm quitting. So then now they're probably thinking, well, if she quit, then if we run that scene, well, one, if she quits, how do we recover from what all we have already filmed using her, right? And if we used her up until a certain point, then how do we, finesse this to make sure that, we don't get sued or whatever the case is. So I don't know. But if that is true and you could be thinking about leaving the show and you could possibly be using that as leverage as a newbie, it's crazy. But let's keep going. They said, and Porsha is not filming right now because of the Simon legal issues. I believe that too. Porsha was just over there in London having her good old time shopping, letting people know that the check has cleared and she can finally, go get her some stuff, and fly out the country and go and get her some Dior and stuff. And I was like, girl, go ahead and shop. Get what you want for your birthday. It's your birthday. Okay. Now they're going on to say, this is what I was told. I don't know anything for a fact, but I do know for a fact that Porsha and Cynthia are not in the country. I thought Cynthia was working on another show anyway, so whether she was in the country or not, I didn't think that she would be filming. Kelly is postponing her event. I did see that on Kelly's page. That lines up with what I was sent about them being on a filming hiatus the past few days. Child, listen. Kenya done came in and shook the hell out of some stuff. She done came and shook some up. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I told y'all what I think should happen. And I'm going to say it again if they just now catching in on the video or something. Keep Drew. I know some of y'all may not like her, but I'm here for the Drew and Ralph, at least for the next season. Okay? Keep Shamia, because she the richest one out of all of them. Hello? Okay? Definitely want to see that dynamic of how she is with the girls. Keep Kelly, who's going through a divorce. Okay, I don't know if they settled whatever lawsuit they had over there in Cali or whatnot, but girl, listen, she's going through the divorce. I believe the records are sealed, so y'all can't be tapping into her business like that. We're going to have to find out from her. So I would like to see that. Okay, and then who else? Keep the Oakley lady, because I don't know enough about her and I want to. Okay, we don't know nothing about her. I know some of y'all saying her husband is a big deal. I don't really know who he is. So again, keep her. Okay, keep her. And then I think that's it. Go find y'all some more ladies. Okay, go find some more ladies. Stop it right there. If Kenya can't be on there, Porsha don't need to be on there. You can't really use shit that you done filmed with Porsha anyway. Okay. We ain't trying to see Porsha link up with damn Dennis and sitting over there talking to him at crew, because she can't film at her house and don't want to film at the house that she got her mama living in. Like, girl, just figure it out. Okay? And I hate it. And y'all have to consider and accept this L that y'all done took. All right? Because y'all thought bringing Porsha back was going to be this major draw. And Simon went in that draw and snatched all this shit out. Okay? And said, you ain't taking nothing. All of this shit is my shit. Y'all thought y'all was going to get in that man's draw, huh? Y'all thought y'all was going to go in that drawer and pull some shit out. And Simon said, bitch, this is my shit in here. You can't take none of this shit with you. How about that? Figure it out. Girl, this is the messiest I've seen. And another reason why y'all need to push this season back and figure it out is because so much of y'all shit is coming out. We are literally watching the show play out. We are literally watching the show play out on social media. And that, in my opinion, was one of the downfalls. I feel one of, not all. When I think about Love and Marriage Huntsville, that was doing pretty good. So much shit happened on social media that when the show came around, we didn't care. Okay? I think what people want are new faces. Drew only been on there for about 2 years. I feel like she can stay a little longer. Shamia, always a friend of, never fully in her business. Let's see it. Okay, y'all trying to give us Cynthia Bailey. No shade, no disrespect. Give us Angela Oakley. Okay? Figure it out. Get your shit together. Okay? Get it together. And that's all I can say. Get it together. That's all I got for the people at this time. I am Jami, that's me. Okay, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. Follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Jami, that's me. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming, I swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. But I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda, we hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer, we come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest, but drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I've been dropping these haters like calories. Cross them out, I came back with some boundaries, stand for my honor. But too raw, no corner, packing the stick with a drummer.